Yes, so let's continue. This is the continuation of the class 2. So we're talking about the basics of UI, that is user interface. So we're talking about the components within the UI. So we've touched typography and then color. So now the next thing on the list is iconography. So iconography in UI refers to the use of icons. So icons are basically small visual symbols. So just symbols, some things that actually symbolizes a particular thing to communicate actions. We use it to communicate actions, concepts. We use it to communicate features within interface. So they replace or supplement text. So you can use them to replace long text instead of writing long content or long copy or long text. You can use icon to replace it. Then you can also sometimes supplement text. So you can use it alongside a text. So it makes the text you use in explaining things reduced. So you don't have to use a long text or a long explanation. So just get the icon, then you supplement it with a text. So it makes actions faster and more intuitive. So you can actually get action done, or when you are using an app, you quickly understand and you can get it makes interaction faster and more intuitive. So you can interact better with interface and interact better with probably a web app or a website, a mobile app. So importance of icon in UI design. So it enhances usability. So it provides quick and recognizable visual cues. So you easily recognize and be able to relate with visuals, with whatever icons that you see, you can relate with it. So sometimes our icons are actually generated from what we are used to, what we are already familiar with. So we're going to have some samples so that you know what I'm talking about. So it saves space. So instead of writing a long description text, so you just have an icon just to represent a long text, or you have an icon and supplement it with text. So it keep interface clean. So improves accessibility. So it helps us to navigate easily without relying on text. So sometimes you just see icon and you already recognize what each of the icons does. For example, on an application on a mobile app, there's home, there is profile, so there is search. So all these icons are already we are already familiar with them. We know what these icons, we know what they do. So they might not they might actually not necessarily have to be complemented with text sometimes, in some cases. So you can just use those icons that are already recognizable. So then aesthetically pleasing, it makes your work to be aesthetically pleasing. So it has personality and style to UI. Sometimes as a brand, one can actually customize an icon that suits the brand. So an icon can actually be designed to suit a brand. So it helps all your brand or all your components to match the brand identity. So it creates a kind of aesthetical, it makes your design aesthetically pleasing. Then it supports localization. So icons work universally, reducing translation needs. So they are icons that are actually global. They are used globally, so you can easily the same translation that is given to it in Nigeria will be given to it in every other country. So they are recognizable, and you can relate with them globally. Then, sorry. So then the next thing here is Okay, an example. These are examples of icon. So from these examples, if you look at them very well, you will see that there are some that you can actually recognize, like this sign now on your favorite social platform like Instagram, on X, on you know on TikTok. This is very, very popular. So you can tap, you can click on this to like, you can share, you can, this is settings, this is notification, this is home, this can also be used for settings. So this can use for airplane mode, the airplane mode rather. So there's airplane mode on your phone, and you relate with this a lot. This is flag, this is a a lock icon, so you can use this to signify locking. So a lot of this is like a video or movie. This is like a message or email. So this is a file. This is kind of, maybe you're trying to describe restaurant, or you're trying to describe snack, or so. This is worldwide, like global. So this is another one for message or email. This is cloud. This is search. So these are icons. You can see that without having tests to describe these icons, I can recognize a lot of them here, a lot of the icons here already. So then we have, these are like some common icons. So icons can be functional, or it can be actionable. Then it can also be informational, or status is describing a status, or giving feedback, or describing a feedback. So the functional icon or actionable icon, these are the 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 examples under that. So we have, search. So we can use magnifying glass to signify search. So we can use envelope to show messages, or email. We can use shopping cart, something like this, to show cart. You can use arrow pointing down to show download, and can use trash bin to show delete. So the same thing with this informational, or status or feedback icons. You can use this kind of symbol to show warnings, this to show success, check mark. So this can show loading, and then this can be used to actually represent security. So so icon design principles. So clarity and simplicity. When you're using icon, have in mind that the icon has to be very simple, and there should be clarity. So you don't complicate things with the usage of icon. So you have to use icon that are relatable, that people can actually relate with, and they are very simple. Consistency. There has to be consistency across the design with the usage of the icon. If you are using, there are different ways you can use icon. You can choose to use field. You can choose to use outlined icon. You can choose to use dual tone, like icon that has dual tone, that are two colors. So you can choose to use them in different ways. So you can use broken icon that has kind of broken effect in them. So if you choose a particular set of icons, make sure you are consistent on the usage. And then if you are selecting from icon pack is basically like a pack or group of icons that are released, or developed by a particular body. So Google has their icon, they call it a Google icon, or you call it material icons. So then we have other icons like Ant Design also has their icon. So all these are just basically a component derived from a complete design system. So like Ant design system, you can get Ant icon from that. You can get Google icon. You can get it from the Google Google design systems. So you can get a lot of other icons like that derived from different design systems. So if you know you want to follow a particular method or a particular principle or a particular design system, it's also nice that you are consistent with the usage of the icon. And then the icon, I said, can be in form of field, outline, broken, dual tone, and all. So you make sure that you are consistent with the usage. If you use dual tone here, use dual tone across all your design. So if you use field, you can also use icon to actually to 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 differentiate between different effects. Probably you want to show an active state. So an active state, you can use a field icon. Then or default or on active state, you can use like outline to do that. Then you can also apply colors to icon to differentiate between the states too. Then it should be scalable, it should be recognizable, it should be accessible, and there should be contrast in the when you're applying color, so you're not making it too make too much noise, and it's not also and it's not sinking in the background where you place it. Then best practice when you're using icon. So you pair icon with labels when needed. So sometimes some icons might not be actually recognizable. So if you know this icon might not be easy for people to recognize, is they are not probably the common icons that people have related with over the time. So you can actually complement it with like an explanation, a label to explain it. So not all icons are self-explanatory, yes. So use text label if necessary. So optimize for touch, for touch target. Yes, icons are very small. They are very small components. So sometimes when you're using them, you have to create kind of space around them for user to be able to tap, to click, to touch. So if you don't do that, user might have to be clicking so many times, like series of occasions or series of times before they can eventually be able to tap on that target. So for easy tap, you can create space around it. So icon should be at least 44 by 44 pixel for mobile tap target. So this 44 by 44 does not mean that the icon itself should be this size. It should probably be space around the icon itself and the space you have created around it. So you can create a kind of container that has a very light color, a light background. Then the icon itself will take the deep color, and you can do it the other way too. You can make the icon light or white color, then you use the background to be deep the other way around. So make sure that it's not too busy. The first method is fine. It keeps your design less busy, but the other one, probably if you know the icon or the information you're displaying on that particular page or screen is not going to be too much, so then you can do that. You can make the background deep and then the icon light. But if not, it's better to make the background light and the icon should be deep. Should take the primary color or the secondary color. So maintain consistency. I've mentioned this. You don't mix different icon sets together. So make sure you're following a particular icon set, icon pack that you have chosen. So probably selected from the design system that you are using. So use icon sparingly. So use it. Too many icon can be overwhelming. So it can overwhelm. So you should make sure that you use them when they are needed. And it is not all the sections in your design or all the screens that require usage of icons. Sometimes there are other components that you can use. Sometimes it just requires you to use just text, just typography. Sometimes it requires you to use image and typography and all. So make sure you use it at the right time, at the right place. So text for clarity. You can run usability tests to ensure that user understands your icon. So here we are moving now to imagery and illustration. So imagery in UI design refers to the use of visual elements such as photo, illustrations, graphic, and icon to enhance the user experience. It communicates meaning and evokes emotion. Just like color, image also evokes a lot of emotions. The way the expression you see in the image can actually determine or can actually communicate the message you're passing on a particular section, or on a particular page of your design. So you make sure you're choosing the right image. So image plays crucial role in making interface engaging. Yes, it makes your interface engaging, intuitive, aesthetically appealing. So look at this alone. Just let's assume this is a design. So this image alone is communicating something. Probably somebody is looking for something, you're searching, or you're on a tour. You can image communicate. It speaks a lot. So sometimes your image is what would help to explain what what your brand does. So the kind of image you use will help in explaining it better for people to better understand your brand. So then role of imagery in UI: enhances visual appealing, improve usability, create emotional connection. Yes, so it helps to create, to evoke feelings, and feelings that aligns with your brand identity. So like you want to communicate trust, use an image that actually resonates with that. Excitement, use image of people being they are in happy mode, and they are being they are very they are showing excitement. You want to show image of professionalism. You show people on suits, probably in the office, busy, or try to do something professionally. So it aids navigation. So it gives you clue on and guide. It can guide you on how, or through the interface, on what to do. So it supports branding. Is one major thing in branding that is very, very important, is image. So sometimes when you do full branding, when you do a branding work for a client, it's also good to also suggest the kind of images that you want them to use. And at times when you are designing for a brand in Nigeria, and that brand is basically, the target audience are basically Nigerians. So it's better not to use white, or Asian, or people that are not within the terrain of of the brand. When the brand is actually operating, use people that actually connect, that the client, that the users can connect with, to better understand that okay, this is a Nigerian brand. And if it is mixed, so then you can use both, you know Asian, you can mix American and other people, or other kind of people together in the image. So best practice when you're using image: consistency, just like in icons, consistency, relevance, performance optimization, accessibility, minimalism. So minimalism rather. So you have to consider minimalism. You don't have to make it too busy. You don't have to overwhelm your design with too much of images, and you have to master the way you arrange the image. That's very, very important. This is one key thing that makes your design stand out and different from others. So design is just basically what you want to do as a design might be something that a lot of people have done. So you are very creative about the arrangement and making things different. So yes, and you're not using too much. You're not doing it too much. You're just minimizing the usage and be professional about it. So then, before I move to illustration, I want to introduce you to at every point in the components of UI, I introduce you to how you can actually get them practically, how you can get uh, how you can go about detecting the typography of a particular website, how you can go about to generate color, and how you can go about getting image. Yes, I'll do that for icon and image. So icon, as I mentioned earlier, is can be seen in a complete design system pack. you know the design system of Google, you can get that there. M3. Let me just go on, just come here and M3. Material Design 3. So that's the latest Design 3. Okay, so that's the latest design system of Google. It's called Material Design actually. So Material Design 3. So here on Google's Material Design, so you can also visit the website m3.material.io. So you, click on the components, then you know there are a lot of components here, buttons, blah blah, all this. Then you search for icons. So you search for icons. So I can search here icons. So these are icons here. So you see a lot of icons. You can see a lot of icons from by Google. Then when you are using Figma, you can also generate that. This is font.google.icons. So you can also generate icons from with plugins. These are all the icons here. So if you need any of these, you can click. You can download as SVG or PNG. So you can as well get that with Figma plugin. So when we get to Figma, I'll show how to generate that on Figma plugin. So that's even easier, because here you have to download it, take it to Figma, but there you do everything right inside Figma. So then I'll show you some other icon packs. So then on image, there's FreePic. FreePic has a lot of free stock images. Though there are some that are premium that you have to pay, and then there are others that are free. So like I need something like this now. I can search. You can search here also. Probably you need image of professionals in the office. So it shows image of professionals in the office. So this kind of thing now I can download a lot of it for free. So let's assume I'm looking for image that actually resonates with Nigerian brand. So I can pick something like this, because these guys are already looking like Nigerians compared to compared to this compared to this. Well, if I'm looking at mixed people, I can use something like this. You can sort. You can come here and sort the kind of thing you want, the kind of human that should be there. With people ethnicity. You want Asians, you want Africans, you want black, Indians. You want white people. You can choose it. So FreePic is a go-to platform for you if you're looking for images. But right on Figma, there are also plugins that you can use to generate image right on Figma. But that might not have enough images as FreePic. So you can use that. Then if you know you're not getting enough images, you come here. So when we get on Figma also, I will show you how to generate images with plugins. So that's basically it about images. Then we move to illustration. So illustration basically are just custom drawn graphics used to visually communicate ideas, enhance user engagement, and guide user through an interface. So unlike images that you have to take pictures, now that we have AI, you can use AI to generate image. But then illustration are hand drawn. They look hand drawn, like custom drawn. Though you don't necessarily have to use your hand to draw them. Sometimes you can draw them just by using your mouse to illustrate on probably Adobe Illustrator. You can even do that on Figma. If you know how to use Figma very well, you can illustrate exactly what we have here on Figma. You get, so you can custom drawn graphics elements. So this is a perfect example of an illustration. So unlike standard image or icon, illustration are often unique and you can style it to match brand personality. There's a limit to how you can control the look of image. Sometimes in images, companies will have to, they will need team, they will need a team that would be taking their pictures. Maybe they want custom pictures for themselves, so they'll be taking their own personal pictures, and then that's what they will be using in their on their website. So the same thing with illustrations also. You have an illustrator that is decide, because we have a lot of illustrations also online that you can randomly pick. But if you want a custom one, you can get an illustrator, or you can also do it, and you illustrate all these things out. So let me show you an example of a website that you can, we have on draw. There is on draw, there is icon scout. So you just search, you browse, so you see all these illustrations. So you can check icon scout also. Icon scout has a lot a lot. You barely not see what you're looking for here. Just search. So let's say business. So you see illustrations relating. You can get icons from icon scout also though. So then you can sort by illustration. So you see illustration pack here that you can use. Then after downloading the illustration, you can download in SVG version. The SVG version allows you to edit the illustration. You can still do some kind of manipulation, changing of color and all that on any illustration you download on Icon Scout. Then, so the role of illustration, just like images, it also helps in telling the brand story. It improves user engagement, strengthens branding, guides user action, and adds emotional appeal. So then it keeps you keep it consistent. These are the basic principles in the usage. Best practice. So ensure clarity, optimize for performance, make it accessible, and also don't make it too much. Don't make it look clustered on your design. Then finally, this is an assessment that is very important for everyone to do. So that will be all for this particular class. So the assessment you have to download. In our next class, we will start with Figma. Everyone needs to have Figma on their system, and I've sent the process of downloading and also setting it up to you all on the channel. So I've communicated that. So follow it. So it's part of your assessment. If you are able to download this, there's a mark for it. Then there are marks attached to other questions here also. So you can just, you don't just do them, you also study all these things. So then in the class we can have, probably we can take some time to explain few things about it, because the class is going to be very short. Might not have time to explain all this. So we'll probably take few time to explain before we move to the next design, the next class, the next topic rather. Thank you and bye.